obvious that this job is going to be out of the ordinary.
Zach, we're standing in a very traditional neighborhood, a very established neighborhood. Now, you're building two homes here that are far from traditional. I mean, they're very modern. Did you have any problems getting permission to build homes like this?
Not really. We applied for the permit from the city, and there was no complaints whatsoever from the neighbors. And in my opinion, being contemporary or modern doesn't really contradict the existing area here, because I think in so many ways it does blend height-wise, and that the forms itself does comply with the requirements of the owner and the area.
Now, the shape of the homes are very, very strange. Are you using any kind of different materials, or is it your basic?
It's basically all the standard construction Canadian material here, wood framing and stucco, but it's the forms and the shapes that really makes them different. It's more like a sculpture, really.
Right.
You can take a piece of mud and make either a masterpiece of it or nothing.
Yeah. Now, why do designs like this and not stick to the contemporary?
Chris spoke with an architect about the plans and designs of two very modern and unique homes. Now the foundation is being worked on. Let's check it out.
I thought for a moment, Zach, there weren't any straight walls in here, but there are a couple of 90s in this area.
Yes.
Not too many, though.
Well, it's the whole really concept was having the whole thing in a curvy, sweeping curves, and basically that's how
takes
the
a lot more
foundation.
Time than normal traditional
Absolutely. In any curve will take definitely more time than a straight line, because all the joints are different than your standard joint. And it needs someone with some imagination, because all kind of unexpected things comes in different, every angle is different, so it does vary from one wall to the other. It needs a lot of patience, and it has to be very, very careful because of the joints and the connections.
But it can be done, can it?
Oh, apparently it's being done, and it's in a very short time we're going to start doing the framing.
Now let's go to another rural
foundation
site.
is already in, Zach, block construction, but something on the outside here. What is that?
This is what's called podging, which is a cement finish to the concrete foundation, and that is part of the waterproofing. It seals all the joints, and after that, of course, we have the tar on top of this. But that's really the basic purpose of it. It's cement has to close all the gaps in there.
Now we're looking at, of course, starting the framing operation, and that started here. What are those plates across the top? What is that?
These are what's called sill plates, which is 2x6 wood boards. Will be sitting on the top of the concrete foundation, and that really holds the structure to the foundation. And as you see those black bolts, these are basically bolted, embedded on the concrete block, and they stick out a little bit, and each sill plate will have two holes in it, and on top of that we're going to have a knot that close and tighten the sill plate to the concrete block, which is the foundation of the house. And that's really what's holding the whole house above to the infrastructure, which is the concrete block.
Now you've also got a pink barrier of some kind there now.
Yeah, of course, that's between the wood and the concrete block. There are going to be always some gaps, so the gasket will squeeze in there and tighten all of these holes, so there will be really no gaps in there.
Now, of course, with this sill plate here, a little bit of a challenge, I guess. Normally you'll see a lot of straight runs. This one's got lots of curves in it.
Well, because as you're going to see on the model later on, the whole house really is based upon a curved structure. So because of that, we cannot, of course, run straight lines, so we have to do them in pieces, and each plate will have two anchor bolts holding it to the foundation.
When we return on Let's Build.
Well, Max, the joist is going in, and I noticed right away that it doesn't all go in the same direction.
Well, the floor has been engineered to the optimum usage of joists and beam together to give us the floor system. That's why they're going in all sorts of directions, and that's because of the shape of the foundation of the house.
Now, of course, tell us what this is all about and how it ties in with the joist.
This is an LVL beam. It's layered veneer laminates of wood that are glued and pressed together.
Now, this is about the only square part there is in the entire house, actually.
Just because it's heaven that the door is here.
Well,
You're not going to have any interior walls in here at all, is that true?
Nothing interior. It's basically all the structure is supported on the outside load-bearing walls, and that's why we use the engineered joists, which is, as opposed to the conventional ones, can span longer. And,
Underneath the floor you're talking about.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Underneath and above.
Zach, we've seen large developers build a row of houses at once. You're a custom builder. Why 2 houses at once?
Well, I guess cheaper, because all the trades will be here in the same time, all the facilities, all the utilities will be done at the same time, and that in itself is a major saving. And also, of course, the client himself really wanted both of them done in one time, so by the spring he will have both of them open at the same time. Less headache.
How close do you build them? I mean, you had the foundations on this one first, then you built the foundations on this one.
We actually work parallel simultaneously, so basically we're going with the same trades. They start the foundation one and foundation the other same time. Then we will start, as you see, the framing is going parallel almost. So that's how it's going.
Zach, you're the architect of this house. I'm not alone when I ask you, what were you thinking when you designed this? Bring me through the thought process here.
Well, the whole thing started 2 years ago when the owner selected me to do the design for it, and the first thing he asked for is to create a very unique, funky, modern, youthful-looking building.
I think you've accomplished that.
Yes,
for certain.
and actually we went through the whole thing together, getting all the approval from the city, and you and I also saw the whole thing where it was just a hole on the floor. So now the whole thing is finished, and hopefully he's happy and everyone seemed to be okay with it.
Tell me about the design. Tell me about
the design. When I really started, it was basically like a walk-in sculpture, and all the masses are as playful as possible, and Nick himself wanted this kind of look. And we accomplished this by creating all these masses that you see with tilted cubes, tilted windows, having truss going through the building, and as you know, it's a structured one, support the piece in the middle.
Right.
And that's basically it.
Okay, I can see even living in a house like this because I like it. It's very nice.
Okay.
But the colors, you know, did you have to go with such bold and brilliant colors?
Well, I really think color is color, whether it's beige or gray, and we in Canada here, it seemed to be very conservative, very much with the colors. So I thought of using color, whether it's yellow or blue or gray, it's still colors. So we can practice with it and see how it goes.
Okay, I can't wait to see inside. Let's go.
Well, sure.
Come back to Let's Build. Now that we've seen the outside of these homes, it's time to take a look inside. Zach, after looking at the outside, I expected inside to be bright, colorful, 60s psychedelic. It's very toned down, isn't it?
Well, that was really the owner's own taste and style. He needed something very calm, subdued inside, because he's a very personal person himself, private, and that was his selection of color. I helped him in getting all the finishes and designing location for them, and that's basically it.
Yeah, really haven't got a straight wall in the entire house. Some of the windows aren't even straight, but the finishes are pretty traditional. We've got hardwood, we've got some granite on the floors, ceramic tile.
Well, eventually this house is going to be for sale, and we have also to accommodate all other people things. The outside was a statement, and the inside is a livable space. So I think we accommodate both of them in one shot.
Beautiful open concept area, beautiful skylight area. Staircase is stunning with the
well, every
railing.
piece really is a custom made, as you can see, and it's a pure reflection of the outside. There is nothing here that's deceiving. Everything outside is inside. The walk-in sculpture is a reflection of all the exterior masses and volumes.
We've got some modern fixtures, things like this. The freestanding fireplace is quite stunning, isn't it?
Well, we're going to have all the living space around it here, living, dining, family, so it's going to be a centerpiece, and that also was the owner's selection, and he wanted that as a focal point in the house that reflect also the slope of the cube outside.
Yeah, I wasn't quite sure how they were going to put curtains on the crooked window, but it's a nice job anyway.
Apparently it's working there, and it's functional too.
Kitchen is very functional, very modern, very functional, lots of stainless steel and beautiful granite. That countertop is even curved, isn't it?
Well, it's really, as I told you, the whole thing is custom made, and it has to be cut to suit all the curved exterior walls. So it was a challenge for the granite guy, for the cabinet, because all the back of the cabinet is curved.
Right.
So they have really to cut all of this, bend the plywood and all millwork to suit that.
Let's talk about the curves and the lack of straight walls. you've got some furniture started in here, but it really can't be traditional furniture that's going to mesh in here.
Well, it's going to be more of an accent pieces, really, to show the curves, and you cannot really have much of furniture stuck to the back wall. It's going to be a loose item with all kinds of vases, and so it's up to the owner really to do whatever he wants there. It's an open space; he can do whatever he wants.
You've got wonderful en-suites upstairs. I don't think I'm wrong in saying that those would look good in any house, but you use the angles and the curves and the tile work really to come up with a masterpiece.
Well, as I told you, like the owner and myself really work for the past 2 months just trying to accommodate all of these things in there, and it's really up to him or whoever lives in here now to use the space. It's all pure clear walls here to do whatever they want to do with them. And one of the reasons we use this subdued color, that you can any hanging pictures or whatever, it will show better. It's like a museum rather than having all kind of colors here, then it will kill any elements you put on them.
It's not a house for everybody. I mean, I think you've gone to an extreme here. Are there elements of this design that people can use in a more traditional house?
Well, it's really in so many ways it is very traditional. All the basic functions of any house is there. It's just the masses. Don't forget, we got a permit from the city hall with the most restrictive codes. We applied it and made sure the sizes of every room, the size of the windows, the location of the washroom areas, everything here is as per Ontario Building Code. It's just a matter of having it playful a little bit to add some life to it.
Did it turn out exactly like you thought it was going to be right from the pictures?
I'm very happy the way it turned out. The main thing, of course, is the owner who paid for all of that is very happy with it, and I hope it will be enjoyable from now on.